But if I were presenting you to my composition class, then I would actually want to tease out different dialectics that or polemics that might.
There was certainly going to be there's certainly some differences between us and different points of view that might actually let's say meet through this performance and help both of us change, right? Both as composers and professors.
Well, it sounds like there's an openness to,
Yes,
to
yeah,
this growth
yeah,
process
yeah.
that you're attracted to, and that you believe in. There's inherent optimism in that.
Well,
which is
yes.
I was interested when you said that you were attracted to the orchestra. If it was the timbral, possibilities, or what, which is a more standard answer.
Yes,
that
yeah.
you'd expect.
Yeah, I think of
But
it.
that wasn't your
I think of it as a zoo where the animals are in different places every day. You know what you're going to be seeing, but you never know where the lions are going to be, so to speak.
Well, the nice thing I think that the Nimbus can do in relationship to that is have the same animals, but maybe in fewer herds.
Yes, yes.
So
it would be easier
you don't
to
have a group of
yes
this
to
or a group of that,
yeah.
Or you can
Yeah.
have only a group of that. I mean, in
Yeah.
other words, if
Yeah.
we have 25 person cap on the musicians that you have available, you could have 25
Yeah,
flutes.
yeah.
I hope you don't.
Well,
I don't want to dissuade you from that.
Yes.
Simply because
Yeah.
programming around that would be
Yes, of
very,
course,
very tough.
yeah,
Actually, if
yeah.
you a piece for 25 flutes, I mean, one thinks of the Ligeti and the early Ligeti, where he actually explored that aspect of the flute choirs and such. What is your relationship to the instruments, to the instrumentation? Do you start sort of with a sense of what instruments you want to work with, and then ideas come from that? Or do you start with the
Yeah.
ideas and then you think of what
It's-
instruments would...
It's such a difficult question to answer, and I could give you a quick answer by making a comparison or a parallel with painting or cooking. You have all the colors and you're ready to paint. You're looking at the landscape or the person you're painting, and then you start picking colors. But that's not really a good comparison, because there is a reality there, and we are supposed to reflect that reality as painters. Perhaps cooking,
Or not.
Yeah, yeah, but have an opinion about it.
Yeah.
And then in cooking, things might be a little more similar with composition, because we have the ingredients on the table and we kind of know what we're going to cook and the order in which they're going to be used. But there is always something new. The phone rings, or there's not enough oil, or there is something that changes the plan. So I know, let's say we know what the instruments are, and you wanted to see how I would start working. I think I would have to relate those instruments to the plan, to the pitch plan or the overtone series. What instruments are going to play what series of notes? I'm going to try to make some assignments, to kind of divide the ensemble based on where the overtone series is coming from, and try to create colors or characters, if you want, and then try to work with those. It is very difficult to be American. Unless you are born and raised here, and your father and grandfather and all the past generations were born and raised here over the past few thousand years. And I'm thinking of the true Native American spirit. All of us that found ourselves on this continent are immigrants, for better or worse.
As the comedian says, our parents were thrown out of every self-respecting country
Yes.
in Europe.
Yes. Or Asia, or,
Or where else?
Central America or South America.
You spoke about the stifling aspect of tradition.
Hmm.
And there's also, excuse me, the aspect of tradition that gives meaning to an expression, that art exists within a culture which, to which it relates and which understands its vocabulary and such that kabuki theater in the Antarctic
Would not make sense.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it would not sell very well.
It wouldn't sell very well, although
Maybe one show.
Maybe one show.
One show would sell well, yeah. In my case, if you look at Romania, we are on the edge of what Europe is, and we feel very small. Some of my teachers might not agree, but we feel very small in comparison to France or Italy or Germany or England and so on. It is maybe always the same story. That if you are from a smaller country, your identity will be secondary, your culture will be secondary, your voice will be softer.
And does that translate into a more of a defiance in finding that voice?
Yes, yeah. We have a great sense of humor because I think when you are under the influence, you don't have that many choices, and one of them is just to laugh. And another way was to become louder. I think that small nations tend to be louder in order to counterbalance their limited ability to speak.
And how does that affect your compositional voice?
I think I'm more confident than I should be. I feel pretty good about what I learned back home. And I came here with the idea that I knew everything I could and I had to in order to be successful. And that was a wrong approach. I was 24 when I came here, and I certainly I had a good education, but I think wise people are quiet. Wise people do not speak about how wise they are. And I learned, as I grew up and I learned more, I was less obnoxious. It may be the age too.
I was going to say,
It may be the
this
age.
is not a typical story.
I'm trying to look at I'm trying to look at the geography and mix that with how I grew up. But I think what I learned from being here is to listen and to be able to negotiate and allow people, ideas to coexist. And I think this will be reflected in the piece too. It is hard for me to tell you which note will reflect this now, but there will be a certain sense of understanding and unity, I guess, that you'll be able to find there.